You were not born. You were delivered. Think about that for a second. Every single living thing on this planet has a traceable origin, a lineage, a biological thread you can follow backwards through millions of years until you find the moment it all began. The fish, the bird, the fungus on a rotting log. Every single one of them belongs here in a way that is written into the earth itself. And then there is you, standing on a planet you cannot fully tolerate, running on a body clock that does not match the planet's day, lying awake at night in a species that is the only one that has to fight for sleep, feeling lonely in a crowd in a way no other animal on Earth has ever experienced. What if the reason you feel out of place on this planet is not a personal failing? What if it is because you actually are? Let's start with something so ordinary you have never once questioned it. Every morning you wake up tired. Not just sometimes. Routinely. Chronically. You drag yourself out of bed, reach for something with caffeine in it, and spend the first hour of your day waiting to feel like a functioning human being. You have probably blamed your schedule, your screen time, your stress levels. But here's what nobody told you. Your internal body clock, the circadian rhythm that governs when you sleep and when you wake, runs on a cycle of 24.9 hours. Not 24. Not the length of Earth's day. 24.9. Every other mammal that evolved on this planet has an internal clock that matches Earth's rotation almost perfectly. Theirs synchronizes. Ours drifts. Every single day of your life, your biology is slightly out of step with the world around you. That is not a lifestyle problem. That is a calibration problem. And it does not stop there. Your body requires iodine to survive. Without it, your thyroid fails, your brain development is compromised, your entire system begins to break down. Iodine is not optional for us. It is essential. But here is the problem. Iodine is scarce on land. It is abundant in the ocean. We are not ocean creatures. So why are we built around an element we can barely access from the environment we supposedly evolved in? Then there is the thing that is hardest to look at directly. We are the only large species on this planet that lost its protective coat without growing something to replace it. Other mammals that moved into open environments grew thicker fur, tougher hides, denser skin. We went the other direction entirely. We became naked, vulnerable, exposed to the very star our planet orbits. And the best explanation mainstream science has offered is that we needed to sweat more efficiently. We traded our protection for perspiration. Every other adaptation on this planet looks like a species thriving in its environment. Ours look like a species tolerating one. But the biological evidence is only half of it. Because the part that should unsettle you most is not in your cells. It is in the way your body suffers. And I mean that very specifically. Your immune system is supposed to be your defender. One job, identify threats, neutralize them, protect you. But in the human body, the immune system does something no healthy defense system should ever do. It runs hot all the time. Chronic low-level inflammation is so common in humans that we have an entire branch of medicine dedicated to managing it. Your body is in a near-permanent state of low-grade internal war. Not against a virus, not against bacteria, against nothing. Against the conditions of your own life. Then there is sleep. Every mammal on Earth surrenders to sleep naturally. It is biological, automatic, unavoidable, except for us. We fight it. We lie awake with minds that will not stop running, bodies that are physically exhausted but somehow wired. We have sleeping pills, sleep coaches, entire industries built around helping humans do the one thing every other animal on the planet does without thinking. We are the only species that has to try to sleep. And then there is the one that hits differently. Loneliness in the human brain activates the exact same neural pathways as physical pain. Not metaphorically, literally. Being isolated registers in your nervous system the same way a broken bone does. No other species experiences social disconnection as physical suffering at this level. We were built needing something so deeply that the absence of it genuinely hurts us. Now I need to be straight with you, because everything I have just said has a scientific counter-argument, and that counter-argument is genuinely good. Mainstream evolutionary biology has a framework called mismatch theory. The idea is that our bodies evolved for one environment and are now living in another. The circadian drift explained by our equatorial ancestors needing a flexible clock as seasons shifted. The inflammation, a stress response system built for short-term predator threats, now running continuously in a world of chronic invisible pressure. The sleep difficulty, a product of artificial light and modern schedules disrupting a system that was never designed for them. All of that is reasonable. All of it has evidence. And if that were the whole picture, we would not be having this conversation. But here is what mismatch theory cannot explain. In 2001, scientists completing the Human Genome Project made a discovery that was quietly extraordinary. They found 223 genes in the human genome with no evolutionary precedent, no ancestral version, no transitional form in any other species on Earth. Just 223 genes that appeared fully formed with no traceable origin. The official explanation is horizontal gene transfer, the process by which genetic material moves between organisms. It is real. It is documented. But horizontal gene transfer at this scale, of this complexity, producing this level of cognitive outcome, has never been observed anywhere else in the known history of life. Then there is chromosome 2. Humans have 46 chromosomes. Every other great ape has 48. The difference maps to what appears to be a fusion point, 2 chromosomes that look as though they were compressed into one. The telomeric sequences are there. The evidence of the fusion is real and documented. What caused it remains genuinely open. Dr. John Hawkes, paleoanthropologist at the University of Wisconsin, has described recent human evolution as among the most rapid genomic change the human genome has ever seen. He is not claiming external intervention, but he is pointing at the same impossibility that everyone who looks closely enough eventually finds. The science does not say we were planted here, but it keeps finding things it cannot explain away. Now, here is where it gets impossible to dismiss. Every species that has ever developed complex intelligence on this planet took tens of millions of years to do it. Dolphins have been cognitively sophisticated for roughly 50 million years. In that entire time, they have not built a single tool, not one structure, not one thing that outlasted them. Chimpanzees figured out sticks approximately 4 million years ago. They have not filed a single upgrade since. And then there is us. 300,000 years ago, stone tools and fire. 70,000 years ago, symbolic art. 12,000 years ago, agriculture rewrites the entire structure of human civilization. 5,000 years ago, writing. 500 years ago, the printing press. 120 years ago, powered flight. 60 years ago, space. 30 years ago, the internet. Today, artificial intelligence that generates its own code, writes its own music, and teaches itself to see. Nothing in 4 billion years of life on this planet has ever moved like that. Nothing even comes close. Gradual evolution produces gradual capability. That is what the entire fossil record shows across every species, in every environment, across every epoch of life on Earth. What we see in humans is not gradual. It looks like a switch was flipped, like a program that was always there suddenly got activated. If something did plant us here, if this acceleration was not an accident but a design, what was the purpose? What were we built to do? Because we are clearly not finished doing it. Here's what I actually believe. The evolutionary case is strong. The mismatch theory is elegant. And most of what makes us strange probably does have a natural explanation somewhere in our past that we have not fully mapped yet, but almost certainly is not the same as definitely. And when the people who built the scientific consensus keep finding things they cannot close, the chromosome fusions, the 223 genes, the impossible acceleration, that is not a reason to reach for conspiracy. That is a reason to keep asking. We are the only thing on this planet that looks up and wonders who put it here. Every other species is simply being what it is. We are the only ones who stopped and asked what we are. Maybe that restlessness is a flaw, an accident of an overcomplicated brain with too much time to think. Or maybe it is the whole point. Maybe we were planted here with exactly one instruction built into us from the beginning. Find out.